Welcome to our live stream of high school sports. Please note that this broadcast is produced by an independent team of sports enthusiasts, and the views, opinions, and commentary expressed are solely those of the commentators and not representative of the schools, teams, or athletes featured. While we strive for accuracy, occasional errors or misstatements may occur. This stream is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Thank you for joining us and enjoy the show.
Yeah, come on, let's go. Hey, you ain't never seen nothing like this. Ain't no telling how it might get. It's the hypest right here. High school sports at its finest. So many highlights, you have to rewind it. Hey, Stream City, let me just remind ya. The heart of a lion, a team full of fighters. So many stars on the field, it'll blind ya. They're giving everything they got till the time's up. Yeah, legends in the making. History is made. We just getting started. You ain't seen a thing. YSN, gotta know the name. They gon' bring the flames. They gon' do their thing. Take it to another level, don't hold back. High school, got a passion and we show that. Got the drive and you know they got the heart. Number one spot for your high school sports. Let's go for the win. Hey.
Hey, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. It is a beautiful Monday afternoon, literally just afternoon, 12:03 here on the East Coast. It is YSN Live. I am DJ Oakley, joined as always by what are we going to call you, Ant? Like you're the co-host, sidecar? I feel like that's like the Robin of Batman. I don't like that. You're not Robin here.
I'm not Robin. I'm not a sidekick. Holy macaroni and cheese, Batman.
You're more like Two-Face. Yeah. Anyway, that's Ronald Hartwig. We call him Anthony. He goes by Ronald a lot. That's his political name.
I literally only go by Ronald on this show, guys. Literally.
So a lot might be a little bit of a stretch.
Ronaldo sometimes.
Antonio Ronaldo. That's a good soccer name. Good soccer name. You're out there on the pitch. Cristiano Ronaldo passes to Ronaldo. Antonio Ronaldo. Go!
I will never be confused for a soccer player. Promise you that.
You didn't let me get... Oh, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. How was your weekend, pal?
It was good. It was a busy weekend. Not only did I have a game on Friday night and then Saturday, and we had a family wedding and a reception to go to, and then Sunday church, and we came down and hung out with you guys at the Dairy Queen for a little bit with the king of ice cream and Gary Leininger.
The Dairy King.
Dairy King.
Yeah. We've called him that for a long time. Dairy King, Gary Leininger, our chief photographer. He twilights as some guy down at the Lisbon Dairy Queen. His real job is being the greatest photographer of all time here on YSN. Arguably. Allegedly. There's a lot of people getting mad at us, Ant, over photography.
Whoa, guys.
Siri's one of them.
Siri.
A lot of people getting mad about our photography, pal.
About what?
You know.
Yeah, I know.
You get those messages.
It's crazy. People are crazy.
Yeah. Here's why this show has started off slow. Not a whole lot of anything happening this weekend. Not a whole lot of sports happening over the weekend. We got the the EOAC track meet taken care of. We got the
NAC.
The NAC, the NAC taken care of.
Maplewood girls won and Pymaturning Valley won back-to-back on the boys' side.
Other side, not much because it rained. A lot. And, oh, by the way, it is tournament time, and if we don't have a sponsor, we can't do the tournament.
Right.
Like, that's our rule. A lot of people get mad. We got some messages over that over the weekend, too.
It's been our rule for a while, though, so, like, it's nothing new. Guys.
I get it. I mean,
it's tough.
we do it for free for all regular season all year, and then all of a sudden we're knocking on doors and jingling. What is it? The jingling cans,
The can.
jingling the cup. Yeah, asking for money. Like, I get it. There's a potential conversation happening on Friday, off the record, that could change things. We will see, or they could just tell us to kick rocks again, and we'll be back in the same same exact situation we're in right now. So we'll see how that goes.
And look, we also try to make it so we're not just dropping these teams off after the regular season is over. I mean, we cover things. If we're able to go and do interviews after the game, even if we can't broadcast, we do that. We make sure that you're still, we don't drop you at the pool and say, hey, good luck in the tournament. We'll see you next season. But broadcasting live games.
That is a terrible image in the head right there. Dropping people in pools and hey, good luck. Anthony.
To drop you off at the pool, not in the pool, at the pool.
Sure sounded like you said in the pool.
At the pool. Drop you off at the pool.
Oh, boy. Way different context.
Lifeguards on duty. You'll be safe.
See? That's what I'm talking about. You said in the pool. You're keeping those lifeguards, giving them some jobs. Some job security, if you will. Anyway, what we're trying to get at is stop yelling at us. We are incredibly apologetic, and we try to do that through our messages back. But sometimes there's no putting out fires, and there's no putting out and no changing people's minds. Listen, we get it. We understand it. It's frustrating for us too. We don't like doing this a whole lot at the end of the season. But, we're not getting much in the way of, hey, we really want our games covered. Now, we know how this story ends. We've been down this road before. The further the team gets, the more they want it broadcasted, which we're completely okay with. We think that we're pretty good with $200. That number continues to change. Kind of what our charge is from the OHSAA. So we'll keep you updated, but we like to keep it at $200 across the board, just so we have our OHSAA stream is paid for. We paid for the announcer, and that's pretty much it. Company really doesn't profit anything. No. If maybe like $5, so we can, and usually we'll just throw that into the announcer pay, because it's like, hey, you're driving. Gas is kind of expensive right now. Not as expensive, but still kind of expensive.
Still kind of expensive.
Still got to throw that little jabski.
Little jab.
I will tell you that on the show this week, we will have a guy that was pretty good at throwing jabs. And, by the way, some haymakers. Kelly the Ghost Pavlik will join us this week on the show.
There's something pretty big going on this weekend, right?
Next weekend.
Sorry, you got the dates wrong.
31st. You and Gary would have been sitting at the Maronite Center all by your lonesomes. Just hanging out. You and Gary just talking about life and being mad.
Why is there no one?
Why that sack of subs Yoakley got us again? We will be there on the 31st, as should you. If you look, I think there's 12 fights scheduled right now, and looking at potentially adding another one or few. So you'll get your money's worth. Great thing going on with Ghost Promotions. Kelly's going to join us and talk about some of those fights and why it's important and why he wants us there, which the Human Hype Machine, YSN, that's what I'm talking about. So, and it will be absolutely free. So if it's your first time watching boxing, well, first off, good luck, because Sam Torres and myself on the commentary team, oh boy. And we might add some flavor as well with a 3 headset setup throughout the night. Kelly said he'll jump on for a fight or two. And then we'll have some guests, maybe some celebrities. I don't know who's going to show up at this thing. We're going to find out. But we'll have Kelly on to talk about it. The Ghost, former world champion, and always world champion in my heart, no doubt, will join us on this show this week. So we're excited for that. And then tomorrow we got a packed show. Who do we have?
Yeah, tomorrow we have Gianna Pauline from South Range, just off of finals week as a senior. She'll come on at 12:15. We have Braden Devine from Crestview right after her. And then we have Leah DiArmit from LeBray, who made an amazing catch on Friday. If you saw it on her Instagram, Hopefully you saw it. If you didn't, go check it out. Off the glove, dove, caught it anyway. Incredible. So she'll be on tomorrow as well. And then last but not least, Alex Ward from the new AAC champions, Boardman Spartans. First time they've been the AAC champions in softball since 2003. That was way back before it was the AAC for them. So Boardman gets
all right
a share
with
of
the
it.
way back thing. All right, you know what year I graduated. We don't need to go way back. Like that was a substantial time
22
ago.
years. It's 22. Okay, double deuces.
What I tell you about math on this show? What I tell you about math, and especially regarding that year. All right, no math.
No math. So, but we'll
Thanks
talk
a
to
lot.
her, the third baseman for the Spartans, and man, what a job Fred Moots has done with that program. By the way, Mootsy getting that program its first league title since 2003, and with a lot of seniors, but some young guns as well. I mean, Addie Rudge, freshman catcher, having an incredible year, has broken the season record for RBIs in a year for Boardman with 41. She had a grand slam in that game against Canfield to win the AAC. So a lot of good things happening in Boardman right now.
So let me ask you an honest to gosh question, and like truth serum time. If I would have told you that Boardman would win the AAC in softball, given who is in it, you would have said
Possibly. I know that's a cop out, but I thought
liar.
I do not think the door was shut. You looked at what Canfield and Fitch were returning. They were returning offense, no doubt. Offensive superstars. But they both lost D1 pitchers, and that opens the door just a little bit. And I thought Boardman has Tori Strides and Gabby Zafera in the circle and Addie Kowalczyk. So they have a three-headed monster they can throw at people. Maybe they can keep these offenses down enough to steal some games. And that's what they did. They kept Canfield's offense down in one game, didn't keep him down the second game, kept Fitch's offense down in one game, didn't keep him down the second game, and it was just they split with both. And they ended up sharing the AAC because Canfield lost their third game to Howland. So 2 losses for Fitch, 2 losses for Boardman, share the AAC.
I mean, that's incredible. And again, sharing is you want to win it outright. There's no doubt. If you're a competitor, you want to win it outright. I think people would have said at the beginning of the year, what people, I don't know. Maybe it's us. They would have said, hey, Fitch and Canfield again. And Boardman just out. And then here we go. Here we are. I think Boardman's odds were much tougher than the other two.
The reality, like I would have said it was possible, but Canfield and Fitch were still the favorites. Like that's just the respect you give them for what they've done the last 3 years. You know that their offense was still really good. They had a lot of studs in both dugouts. They were the favorites going into the season, and no one would have sat there and said, "Well, Boardman is the team that is going to beat both of them out, and they're the favorites to win the AAC." I don't think anyone was saying that, but I thought, they had the pieces. I'm not like shocked that Boardman came out and won the AAC.
Okay, so let's look at it a different way. 1 softball, 1 baseball. Who was the most surprising team to you this year? Like, surprising good. Oh, you better.
Baseball, it was Boardman, to be honest, at the top of the AAC right now. Because I think when you're looking at odds for the conference in baseball, it leaned a little bit more heavy towards not Boardman this year, and they kind of proved a lot of people wrong. And then honorable mention to Hubbard, by the way, too, winning the NE8 Hubbard baseball out there. Softball wise, I'm trying to think of someone that's really, really good that I didn't. I don't want to say I didn't expect him to be good, but did more than I expected. I'm trying to run through the teams. Give me a minute. Tap dance for me. That puts more pressure on. Stop it.
Oh. All right. So you said baseball. I have to point to, listen, I agree with you. Boardman, little unexpected. However, I've been on the road with these boys. I knew exactly what they were going to do. And here's newsflash. Breaking news. Spoiler alert, if you will. Write this down. Boardman, not going to be any easier to beat next year. The baseball team. Good luck. Like, they lose some pieces. They lose, I think, 6 pieces? 6, 8? Something like that. Obviously, some very talented baseball players. But they got some dogs. They got some puppies coming up. They're going to be pretty good. Pretty good. And that's the senior class is absolutely stocked with talent. So it's going to be interesting. Baseball, East Palestine from Mike Swinehart. Softball, Beaver Local. So
Beaver
some of the
Local
smaller
had a good
teams.
year. That's a good call, Mike. That's a really good call.
I would agree with Beaver Local on the softball side. I also think, call me crazy, I mean, Lakeview. I know there's a lot of people that are going to sit there and be like, well, they were supposed to be this good. Come on, man. In that NE8 with that talent.
Yeah, they won it last year, though. They shared, caveat, they shared last year. And they came back and they...
You can't even name one. You're giving me grief about this one. Come on.
I'm just trying to... I think softball, for me, I'm going to throw some love to a team didn't win the conference, but really got a lot of big wins, took some people deep in games. Garrettsville Garfield had a really good season this year. Juliana Genovese in the circle gave some people some fits. And I think they overachieved this year with the roster they had. So I'm going to give Garfield some love. Lakeview, yes, definitely winning that conference outright is really tough. So being able to beat South Range twice and having to do it with having your home game kind of taken away because of weather and having to go to their place to play your home game and walking them off at South Range, that's impressive. That's
what I'm talking about.
So,
like, that's taking care of business is what they did. And I'm not saying that we expected them not to, but you look at that and you go, okay, South Range and Lakeview they're probably going to split. Where are you going to make it up elsewhere in your schedule? I mean, I've been incredibly impressed by Lakeview this year. Tip of the cap to them. For baseball, dude, Cardinal Mooney. Holy shnikes. Cardinal Mooney. Because if you would have, the first 4 games, if you look at them and you're like, okay, it's going to be like an up and down year. It's going to be one of these roller coaster years like we're used to seeing. They are potentially the best team in the area. Like, it's like that. If you go on Max Preps in the Youngstown area, they are listed, and I've seen the graphic on social media, they are listed as the top dog, the top bird here in the area. How much stock you put in that, I don't know, but they passed the eye test right now. With Ben Otis, Ford Stacy, the way they're pitching, the way that Caden Reese is hitting I think he's hitting over 600 now, something like that, or very close to. It's tough to find a hole in their lineup. You know what I mean?
It might be the Z factor. I saw those wristbands over the weekend. It might be the Z factor.
Be like Z. Some of these dudes, unbelievable. Like, too much. Z, like, he thinks he's the man now, by the way. He's walking around Sam's Club like he owned the place. But I think that they're young enough, gutsy enough, and have a fair amount of confidence, let's put it that way, to walk into these games and say, okay, you're going to have to beat us. We're not going to beat ourselves today. And, dude, I'm okay with that. Baseball it's a show me sport, and that's exactly what Mooney's doing right now. And don't sleep on Ursuline either. Holy shnikes.
Ursuline's real good. I think a lot of these teams, when they get into a format where they can go 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 in the tournament, you're going to see that some of these losses that they've experienced in the regular season were because you have to have a really good pitching staff depth-wise to succeed and consistently win in the regular season in baseball. But the tournament, you just go 1-2, 1-2. you can make a run, and we've seen that multiple times in our baseball coverage in multiple years. So I think some of these teams, even like West Branch, when you put Anthony Perry on the mound and that's your one, they're gonna have a chance to beat some people in the tournament.
I think they're the most underrated team right now.
Yeah,
somehow
they've taken their lumps.
Underrated team. Yeah,
but who cares? It's tournament time. Here's your one. Try to beat us. You know.
And what's interesting with baseball is especially this first couple weeks, you can pitch your one, and then you get a break, and then you can pitch your one again on that next Wednesday if you really wanted to.
Yep.
All right, we've covered the surprising teams. What's one team that you think is going to be really good in the playoffs? Like you want to watch them, certainly, like, you know, they're going to be good, but like they're going to go on a run. Who's and we could talk softball and baseball both, because baseball is just starting. Softball or baseball hasn't started yet. Softball just started.
Mm-hmm. For softball, I think one of the teams that has been knocking on that door to make a deep run for a while that hasn't quite gotten there yet is Columbiana. And I think they have the pieces this year. That lineup is really hard to navigate. When you add Broad in with Pleska and Dota and Cam Perkins in the middle of that order, it's really hard to pitch to. And then they have Broad in the circle, who has brought a new life to their pitching staff. It's not all Caitlin Pleska anymore, and Pleska is a good pitcher. So they have two really good arms that they can go to. I think Columbiana has the pieces now to really knock through a district, get to a regional for the first time in a while, and then see where the dice fall in a regional. That's what you have to do. You have to get to the regional and then see where the cards fall when you get to that level, because everyone's good in regionals. So I think Columbiana can make a pretty deep run. And then the obvious ones that we always kind of expect to kind of get there, your South Ranges, your Lakeviews, your Champions, your Fitches, your Canfields, they're all going to have vie for deep runs. Boardman, of course, they all have pieces. But I think Columbiana, in the district they're in, they can make some noise. It's a 5 seed in Division 5.
Okay, who's the baseball team? I know you haven't had a chance to look really at the playoffs, but who's, like, right off the top of your head, who's a team that you're excited to watch because you think they're going to go for a bit?
I want to say I think Crestview can shock some people in the playoffs. They have arms, they have offense, they have pretty solid defense too. Crestview is one of those teams that we're talking about can kind of shake off some lumps that they've had this regular season and go 1-2 on the mound, and really make some damage in the tournament.
You know who we haven't talked about in a while, who I'm really interested to see how things go for them? Poland. Mm-hmm. Not winning the NE8, how does that set in their psyche? Does it make them want to dig deeper and be dogs? Or is it one of those things like, hey, it was a good year, guys, we didn't get our number one goal accomplished, and we'll see, we'll show up. Mm-hmm. I think it's the first. I think it's anytime you're playing Poland in the postseason in a win-or-go-home scenario, in anything, Poland has those kind of people walking through the hallways that they are absolute dogs, and that's what I think. What's your take?
Yeah, they're going to be using this NE8 loss as motivation, and they're well coached, and they have leaders in that dugout. They're going to be saying, okay, we'll trade the NE8 championship for a district title any day. We'll trade those trophies. So if losing those games to Hubbard, or losing that game to Hubbard, I should say, because they split with the Eagles, if that makes us kind of wake up a little bit and get ready for a district, then we'll take that. I think the coaching staff will take that. I think the players would take that any day. And with Tyson Terajak on the mound, good luck beating them in that round of the tournament, at least.
And in the box. Let's not forget about the offense. That kid has the capability that he has to change the game with one swing. He did it twice earlier this season in one game. So he's pretty good, you could say. Pretty good guy. Mike saying that Louisville, potential to go on a run in softball.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and baseball. Talk to me about what you know. I mean, he referenced the Canfield game.
Yeah, Louisville is powerful on the softball side. They can hit home runs pretty much 1 through 6 in their order. When you get to 7, 8, 9, they're more speedsters that want to kind of set the table for those 6. They can all mash. They have a record-breaking home run hitter this year. and Campbell, who has broken the record set by Maddie Benson, who went to Maryland last year, graduated and went to Maryland. So you have players that are breaking records from D1 players that went through that program before. So they have a lot of power on the bats on the softball side. On the baseball side, it's kind of the opposite. They win with pitching and defense. They don't allow a lot of runs, and their offense is timely. They have timely hits. They come up in clutch situations. They know how to win because there are some guys on that team that went to a state championship in basketball and won it. So they know how to come up in big situations, and they're going to be a hard out for sure.
This is exactly what I was waiting to say, but I'll give credit where credit's due. Rob Johnson pointing it out. With Louisville, you can never go by their record because they would play the Guardians. Well, they beat the Pirates. There's no doubt about that. But they would play the Guardians if they allowed it. Like baseball, again, like we talked about it, the playoff situation, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter. If you're not playing for a league title or a conference title, load it up. Load it up because then you're playing for strictly districts, regionals, and states. So look out for Louisville again. I mean, can you imagine? We saw what happened when they won basketball.
Yep.
If they take baseball or softball, that place is going to go bonkers.
And Hoban's in that same boat where they don't have a conference to win. They beef up their schedule like crazy on both sides, baseball and softball, and they have talent on both sides. So Hoban is in that same boat where they can make a little bit of a run if you let them get hot.
Okay, so the question becomes, Ant, do you want a team that is been hot all year, or do you want to be a team that is hitting their stride right now?
I don't like having to learn from a loss, so I'll take hot all year. This as long as we're still hot, as long as we're still hot in the tournament. If you don't have to learn from a loss, you shouldn't, right? If you're dominant enough to win every game of the regular season, then go and do it. I would take that any day if I had the choice.
Another spring title, it will be insane here. I like the teams that are getting hot right now. We've seen it happen. We've seen it happen where teams are trouble going into the playoffs. You don't know if they're going to make it past that sectional round. And then all of a sudden, that pixie dust gets sprinkled, a little postseason magic, and they go on a run that doesn't stop. South Range 18.
We all remember South. We all remember South Range.
Goodness gracious. Louisville a couple years ago. No, they didn't win the state, but dude, that run that they had, magical. Salem a few years ago as well. The Lane Road Salem.
West Branch last year. I mean, they didn't have a pristine record going into the tournament.
They had dogs, man. They just had some absolute dogs. Softball.
JFK, right?
Yeah,
baseball.
Well, and that's the thing. You look at JFK, there's a lot of people writing them off already. Don't cash that check. Don't cash it. You keep that bad boy right there so you can rip it on up. See ya. You just don't know. Right. I mean, these teams that are playing bigger teams all year long, it's not for fun. They're not doing it for fun. They're doing it to sharpen their sword so they can take out somebody's heart later on. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Get ready. JFK in Division 7 of everything is going to be a problem.
They're licking their chops a little bit. Division 7. They've been playing D1, 2, and 3 all year. And then here comes D7. Okay.
Well, in my mind, all these guys are in a room. All these representatives, let's say. Call them mascots, call them coaches, whatever. It's weird. It's like AI up here. And you got all these guys that are talking and puffy chesting it. And then you got JFK. It's kind of like in the corner, just hanging out, like sheepishly. They don't necessarily know why they're there, but they're there. And they'll play any tune on the jukebox and not feel bad about it. But whenever people are getting knocked off, JFK gets a little bit closer. That TV, a little bit closer to the bar. Keeps looking around, looking at the pool sharks, knocking people off. Hey, JFK could be a problem. Usually is. And if you're sitting there in D7, if you don't have great pitching, number one, and a almost a knock him out, drag him out bullpen that is just as good in case your pitcher is off. You're going to be in a tad bit of trouble when you play a team like JFK.
How about Howland's offense? We were talking about teams that can make a run. The Tigers, man. If you're a little bit off as a pitcher, whew, they'll drop 18 on you in a heartbeat.
The Tigers, I love what Britt has done. I am a fan. Love having him on the show most of the time. It's one of those things. And he knows it too. He's probably giggling too. Like, you got to hold your breath sometimes. You got to hold your breath. He's going to speak his mind. You got to hold your breath and pray that he's not calling people out, which he does. But I'll say this, like, the Tigers could be that team. They have, and this is a good thing, I think they have the most attitude out of anybody. You talk about charisma. Like, they got the Riz. The Tigers have the Riz this year because they've been up against it, and they've done it very opposite of quiet. I don't want to say that they're loud, but they're sure as heck not quiet. And they're a team that's fun to watch, and you just go, oh, okay, this is a different brand of baseball we're watching, which I dig. They're the quirky kid in class, so to speak. And I like watching it because you never know what's going to happen. Because as we talk about all the time, these teams are a direct reflection of their leadership. And Britt Taylor, he knows his way around the diamond. He knows that there's people that do not like him. He just doesn't care. He just doesn't care. And that's why you have to love Britt Taylor. Like, you have to love him. Who's that manager for the White Sox a few years ago? Was it Ozzie Guillen?
Oh, yeah, Ozzie Guillen.
That's Britt Taylor. Like, right there.
Right.
He's that guy. And there's no disrespect there. That's his comp. If we're doing comps, that's his comp. What about coach? Speaking of Britt Taylor, that you're incredibly proud of this year for leading the way they've led, whether it's on the field with their with their success, or whether it's, being able to get their kids out there and fight through adversity.
Well, I already said I think Coach Moots has done a really good job this year on the softball side for Boardman.
He's Coach of the Year.
I mean, I think he's up for YSN Coach of the Year too in the conversation.
He's definitely in the conversation.
I think the tandem of Joe Marilillo and Will Sandy at Middle Ridge also bringing their first league championship in quite some time. Won't do the math. I won't break the rule again. 2004 was the last time Middle Ridge won a conference championship. So you can do the math on your own to see how long ago that was.
You already did it earlier.
So
21 years.
So it's been a while since Middle Ridge has won. Sorry, it's been a minute. It's been a minute. These student athletes haven't been born the last time that Middle Ridge won a conference championship. They did it this year, and they've done a really good job with that program in their 3 years of being the coach there. And then I think when you look at Jessica Urchek from Maplewood, what she's been able to do with a very young roster, bringing in some freshmen, Addison Marker, Claire Urchek, and letting them get the 2 seed in Division 7 and go toe-to-toe with Matthews in the NAC. Both those games they played with the Mustangs, 2-run games, I think. So what they've been able to do in Maplewood has been really, really fun to watch as well. So they're looking to make a run. So those are some coaches that I would give some flowers to, for sure.
For baseball, I mean, you look across every Kibbe at Crestview. I mean, you mentioned Crestview. And this is the tough part, because I don't think the MVAC gets a whole lot of love when it comes to postseason accolades, especially, with the region, with where they are. The MVAC as a whole, they sit there, and I think they get snubbed, quite honestly. I think they get looked over. And you've got to look at some of these coaches, like a Todd Kibbe, that is bringing Crestview back, not just to relevance, but he is making his kids, he's just draining the lemon, right? I mean, squeezing every ounce of lemon to make that lemonade out of his team. So hats off to Todd Kibbe. Aaron Walker in the same boat. Swinehart talked about, East Palestine and their resurgence. What AW has been able to do, and obviously they've got a freshman group that they've been waiting on for a long time. But during those interviews, we talked about the seniors and how those seniors have impacted. It can be tough to deal with egos in baseball. I mean, you got a group that really didn't lose on the way up to where they are right now being freshmen. And then you've got a group that have been searching for W's their entire life in the senior group. And they were able to collaborate with each other, and the baton is going to be passed. There's some standout underclassmen above the freshman level that are going to be impact players for the next few years. But man, what Aaron Walker's been able to do in East Palestine certainly makes me proud. But you look at kind of the blueprint for how you want to lead, and not necessarily being a vocal leader, because Aaron doesn't necessarily scream and yell and shout. But what he does is, hey, he leads by example. He's always done that, and that'll be the way he does it. It's the new generation of coaching that these kids really, I think, needed, and he has it. The other one, I mean, you've got to tip your cap to Matt Weimer, what he's done out in Canfield. Yep. Certainly, first-year coach of the Cardinals, and a lot of adversity because they started out hot and they could have just easily thrown in the towel midway through the season, but they battled back, and some huge wins down the stretch, including the one over Poland for the Battle of 224. I mean, Matt Weimer has those guys believing in something here as we head towards the postseason. So there's a lot of different coaches, and there's some that are probably in the conversation for Coach of the Year that I didn't even mention, because you look at what some of these teams have done. Eddie Reese certainly in that conversation. He's got his guys believing. And you can look all across and go, man, yeah. But, we try to just, this is our try. This is our attempt when we acknowledge coaches and players for these postseason awards. We'd like to do one of them, but it is so challenging with over 70 teams to just give it to one. So we do co. We're stopping at 2. No threes. We're not doing threes.
And we try to find a way to avoid co if we can. But if we have that safety net,
I think we're going to have a lot of co's.
We're going to have a lot of co's.
Like, I was looking at it. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff going on. Of good stuff going on. Yeah. And that's the thing. We had the conversation on Friday.
Yeah, you tried to pick a softball MVP.
So many. Yeah. And we had people that were in Gabby's corner and people that were in Caitlin's corner. But they're
both good corners
for us,
guys.
Yeah. Real tough conversation. Yeah. 900 home runs against a negative ERA. Okay. Right. Real big stretch.
Right.
But then they're like, well, they can do MVP and get the offensive and defensive or pitcher. I'm like, no.
You don't double up awards.
We don't double up awards. And hey, kudos to, well, a little peek behind the curtain. It wasn't anybody that was a Gradishar or a Pleska. So usually that's the conversation we've got to deal with. It's, hey, if my kid has the highest batting average and the lowest ERA, they can be the pitcher and the offensive player. No. They're not real awards. It's like there's you get the graphic. I guess you could print that out. Like, we're not. Maybe someday we'll do awards. Maybe someday. We used to do them, and then now I've got 900 awards here because nobody ever wants to pick them up. There's still an award in Boardman that doesn't belong to Boardman, and they're like, "Hey, do you want to throw this away?" I'm like, "Keep it if you like."
From 2022.
Yep. So that's why we don't do. People were asking why we don't do awards. That's why we don't do awards anymore. Like, okay, you guys don't care about them? Cool. Like, we'll save.
Now you care about them. Now you care about them. Okay.
Isn't that? Hey, but you know what? We're coming out with some new stuff, and we're getting more T-shirts. So, you know how people feel about T-shirts.
I know.
You can give a $100 trophy, and they could care less. You give them a T-shirt, and they go bananas. Which leads me to the big dogs will be released from last week. They'll be released tonight. I will get home and I will make the graphics for them. Apologies for everybody and to everybody for, I don't know where the signals got crossed, but like we try to come out on Wednesday, Thursday morning at the latest, and then we try to wrap it up by Sunday night. There's never been, and Anthony, you said it during our private conversation, there's never been a, hey, it's going to be 4 days of voting guaranteed. Like this is something that, bogs down our website a lot. But it also is something, the goal is to put 6 names in lights for each sport every single week. They go towards a big dog of the year, which I think is one of the cooler awards that people get because it is based on votes, based on popularity, and based on, kind of your political prowess, if you will. Like the campaigning from Boardman, and who else did I see campaigning? Somebody else was it Fitch was campaigning last week.
Yeah.
Like that's awesome. That's great. And parents doing it as well. That's it. We actually share the majority of the ones that we see. So if you want to be a big dog, all you have to do is send your stats for that week or a particular week up. We want you to be acknowledged. There's no bot thing going on. There's no way to prove. Well, let's go this way. There's no way to prove bots. We've done it a couple times where we've proven them. If that happens, that person goes down to 0. So every single time they can keep paying for bots or whatever, it'll go down to 0. If we can't prove it, I'm not going to yell at somebody's nana for clicking like a mad woman. You know what I mean? Like I can't do that.
3 laptops open at once and going vote.
Buddy, some people do that.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like
we're not going to tell them not to do it. Like they're playing by the rules, but then we have people that are like, no, these are bots. They're 100% bots. Show me how they're bots and we will take care of it. Like, oh, by the way, you're potentially winning a t-shirt. Like, take it down. Take it down a notch. We don't want you to completely dismiss it because we love Big Dogs of the Valley. Everybody does.
Just take it down a notch.
Yelling at us is not the answer. I can tell you that. Like that's a good way to never be
never be
on Big Dogs
again.
We're not going to punish anybody, but whoa, some of the I've never seen those words side by side before.
That's creative.
You've seen it, and you're like, oh, interesting. This is an interesting. I have no problem taking criticism. I've got no problem people swear at me. Some of these swear, you'd be in debt, like student loan debt, into the swear jar. Yikes! Incredible.
Maybe a t-shirt.
Maybe. We're trying to bring them back. But what I can tell you is we are excited, as always, to unveil something new starting this summer, and it's going to be the Sleepy Hollow Sleep Shop Sleeper of the Week. And if you are chosen to be Sleeper of the Week and you win Sleeper of the Week, you do get a t-shirt. It's in the contract. We have to have a t-shirt that you go and you go and you pick up at a Sleepy Hollow Sleep Shop that we will tell you which ones that you can go pick up your t-shirt. And there you go. You're good to go. We're not mailing t-shirts. We're not doing this song and dance anymore. They love the t-shirt idea. We always love the t-shirt idea, except for when we get yelled at and people call our sponsors and they're like, they're not adhering to your contract. So I put it in the contract. Now we've got to give out t-shirts for Sleepy Hollow Sleep Shop Sleeper of the Week. And we're going over the design right now, but I think the criteria for a sleeper is different than a big dog. It's someone that doesn't have to be necessarily a player. It can be a community member. It can be a coach. It can be a sibling. It can be anybody that you think really up their game. I really want this to be about best teammate.
Yeah.
I really
This-
want this to be about best teammate.
This is where we can see, even like cheerleaders, band members probably
Yep.
get in, dance line member, all these people that think maybe they're under the radar a little bit that bring a lot to their community. We want to hear about them.
Has to be sports related though.
Yes, not
That's the only criteria for that, because I mean, I could say that I care, but like we're a sports company, so like let's make it about sports. Something like it can be like a distant cousin to sports, but as long as it's something that has to do with it, like your mom made 800 cookies for a team that you're not even on.
Right.
Okay, hey, I'm in on that. I'm in on that. But it also, ladies and gentlemen, includes the youngsters. And this is where I think I want this to shine, because being able to highlight sportsmanship, teammate, being a great teammate. Maybe there's a situation. I already have one young man that I will be nominating personally, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited, and I hope he wins. And if he doesn't, I'm going to send nasty emails to myself. Just throw it out there. But I mean, in honesty, but we want to see pictures, right? We would love to see pictures. So send in your pictures, as well as your nomination. And we are, a little synopsis, like a little story, like not a page and a half long. And we will, when we make the page, we will have the vote for the Sleepy Hollow Sleep Shop Sleeper of the Week. And the t-shirt, I believe the t-shirt's going to say, "Don't sleep on greatness."
Oh,
I like it. I like it. It's not official yet. Don't get excited. There's a connotation that I was trying to avoid when we were talking about it. We're trying to sell mattresses and things that go, pillows, things of that nature with Sleepy Hollow. Don't sleep on greatness. I was like, well, like, do you consider yourself great? But I think there's enough of a separation there.
and then Sleepy Hollow is like, but still sleep. We need your business.
We want you, we want you to sleep great, but we don't want you to sleep on greatness.
Sleep on great
like
mattresses, not great people.
Where did you sleep last night? That's the most important thing. Or how did you sleep last night? Not where did you sleep last night? Dang it! They're going to cancel the contract.
That's it. We're done.
Sorry, Drew. Sorry. How did you sleep last night? Where is not important. It's important, but it's not as important as how you slept last night. And thank you, Sleepy Hollow Sleep Shop, believing in us. One of our newest sponsors, and we're looking forward to all the great things we can help you do with your mattresses. I once owned a mattress company, sort of. A store, not a company, a store. They, I was no match for Sleepy Hollow. Let me tell you that. No match. Buddy, let me tell you. Man down. Uh-oh.
Man down. Who's down?
We're going to need to do a wellness check on Rob Johnson out in Louisville. Rob, if you can hear us and you're okay, blink twice. Oh, that ought to be fun. He's looking for emojis right now. Guaranteed. Laugh.
He's like, wink, wink.
blink. But yeah, that'll be coming up this summer. We'll be getting that started. Actually, dude, it pretty much is summer. What is he? He's sorry.
Sorry, guys. I don't know.
Hey, Rob, whatever you did, it's okay. Multitasking, he said.
All right.
And that's why we love you. All right. It's painfully obvious we don't have any interviews today, but we were making up for it tomorrow with 4 interviews, Ant?
Four interviews tomorrow.
4 interviews. I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Jam-packed. Wednesday, we'll have Running with Sipe as well, I'm sure.
Yep.
How many more of those we have?
Let's see. The districts are starting this week. I would say probably 4 more, maybe 4
Ooh, taking us through
Districts.
June.
districts, regionals, state preview, and then hopefully some state champions to talk about.
I love it.
So
I love it being able to get us through, or at least well into June.
yeah,
And then for those of you who are looking for the All-Star game, when we're having it, where we're having it, that will be announced shortly. I think. I hope. I really, really hope we're able to announce that. So we apologize for taking up so much of that. We appreciate the patience. We will have them. There is no doubt. We will have them. It's just a matter of there is a change at Scene Park this year, which has caused a little bit of a shuffle on dates. So we're trying to get into it. I will tell you that the one date we are looking at is Father's Day. And I know there's a lot of pushback coming, but here's what I'm going to tell you. Here's what I got whenever I felt bad about, man, I don't know what we're going to do about this because Father's Day looks like the only day to do this. They're going to be at the ballpark anyway, the majority of them.
right.
They've been doing it for years. So to be able to be part of this and some of these kids are going to have to make a choice, obviously, between the All-Star game and their travel teams. We respect that. But also, we're in a little bit of a pinch because the day we usually have it, the Bob Scene Memorial Tournament is taking place. We cannot get a field because that is a big tournament from what we're being told. We are looking at options. If the 15th is not available, we'll be looking at options potentially where the Scrappers play. Eastwood Field or Beastwood, which would be sweet. Because I would love to put Beastwood on the shirts. Beastwood Field. But regardless, we're going to get this game taken care of, and we are going to have the best time for both the softball and the baseball All-Star games. And we will debut as soon as I get the thumbs up from our organization that we are going to support with these All-Star games. We will have them on the show. And I'm very excited about this one. Very excited about this one. Not that I'm not about all the others, but this one particularly excited because it is a 501c3 that not a whole lot of people know about that's right here in our valley. And to be able to shine a light on what they do, because they do a lot of good things, that is going to be very cool. So without further ado, Anthony, let's talk about the great sponsors that make this show, even as bad as it was today, possible for everyone out there on YSN.
Yeah, Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. They go the extra mile for you. We try to do the same here on this show every single day. And did you know that they have a great service department over there at Greenwood?
I did know that.
Good. You're doing your research. I like it. Journalism.
Journalism.
Greenwood Chevrolet wants to make sure that your summer vacations are safe. You're taking the most important people in your life in a car, and you're being with them for 12 plus hours in a car. You got to make sure you're getting to your destination safely. And the service department over at Greenwood Chevrolet can make sure that your car is in good enough shape to get you there. So head on down to Greenwood Chevrolet in Austin Town. Let them go the extra mile for you and show you what that means, as we try to do the same here on this show every day.
I will tell you that car dealerships nowadays are being bought and sold at a rapid rate. And you got to be careful. You got to be careful about who you trust and how things change and how things stay the same. What I can tell you is I walked in last week to Toyota of Warren and I said, hey, I saw it on the news. You guys sold. Tino Merlo said, yeah, we did. These are good people. Not a whole lot's going to change. Other than that, we're going to have a lot more manpower, do a lot more things. That's what I'm talking about. Toyota Warren, they're not just going to do it as great as they've ever done it. They're going to do it greater than ever. That's what I want to know, because when you buy a new or used vehicle, you want to know that someone's going to be in your corner and they're just not going to fly by night. Same guy that's been rotating your tires or giving you an oil change. You want that guy. You want to know them by name. Like it's Cheers. You want to know them. And you want to make sure that your car is in good hands, because when you're out on that roadway, if you're like me, you don't know diddly-do about your car vehicle. If that dashboard starts lighting up, you're in trouble. Guilty as charged.
What's that like?
I'll tell you what. Yeah, exactly. Car needs maintenance. Uh-oh. That's not real specific. I could be in a lot of trouble here. But not at Toyota Warren, because I'll tell you what, those people always have your best interest in mind. Go on out today. Tell him why ISN sent you. Give Tino a freaking high five because he deserves it, man. He does a great job as GM. Jimmy Wilson, give him a high five. He deserves it just because he's cool. He offered me his office for the show politely. I wanted to be amongst the people, the people's champion. That could have been a terrible, terrible mistake on that particular day. But we survived. We bounced back. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for... Oh, actually, you know what? I got a little bit of a... No, I'll save it for the spark. It is time for the Joe Dickey Electric. What's your spark? Presented by Joe Dickey Electric. They are everything electrical, and they are available to you online 24/7, 365 at DickeyElectric.com. Ronald.
Yes.
Do you have a spark?
I do. I was waiting for you to cue me up. All right.
Ronald, here we go with your spark today. What do you got, pal?
My spark today is going to go out to coughing. I'm going to go out to the Dairy Queen over there at Lisbon. That was the first time I'd been there. I know you go there every Sunday, and it's something that you do a lot. But I will say, it was the first time I went there.
What are you trying to say? I go there a lot.
You know, you hang out with Gary a lot. You know, you and him are like this. It's.
I'm gonna turn it into HR. You just fat shame me right on my own. That's messed up, Ronald.
And now our HR department is you and me, so you're basically turning it into me. So
nope. There's a quirky young lady in East Palestine that is our HR department, and I'm not talking about Chris Sigler.
Anyway, they made they make your ice cream with love, man, and it was the best Blizzard I ever had. Oreo wasn't on the bottom, wasn't a bunch of Oreo at the bottom and then a bunch of ice cream. They took care of what they were making with their Blizzard. Family owned, they'll do that for you. So go to DQ in Lisbon.
I can't believe you just promoted Lisbon DQ. Can't believe it. Gary's going to be so upset. Mine is, believe it or not, it's kind of serious. If you didn't know, I wrote a children's book that debuted a couple weeks ago. Today, I had the honor and privilege to go in. I was asked by a dear friend of ours I'll just leave it there because we were in school at the same time, but she was an adult and I was like a seventh grader. Like she's the middle school secretary, Janice Cartwright. She's wonderful. One of the best people ever. She said, DJ, I can't believe that you wrote a book. And I said, me either. And then she said, my grandson Ryder wants to read your book to his class on Monday. And I would love for you to be there and da-da-da-da-da. Happy to do that, right? Just move some stuff out of the way. And I'm in my old stomping grounds of East Palestine Elementary School. Thank you to Mrs. Prentice for allowing me to be in the class today. Watched Ryder read my book, which was unbelievable. Like the emotions that kind of carry over you. But every student was then gifted a book, never benched, my book, from someone in the community of East Palestine. So then they were like, hey, will you sign the books? So I mean, this is not an ego thing. This is a never thought this would happen thing. So I'm signing these books, very excited for it. And then they told me a little secret. They said, hey, we published our own book. Now, these are first graders that published their own book in a classroom, and they gifted me their book. And I, in turn, wanted to make sure that each of them signed the book. So great things happening over at East Palestine Elementary School. Looking forward to selling this book in like 20 years when they're all superstars. But if you want to go check out the book, This is not a triangle. This is not a triangle. And it is written by all the first graders in Mrs. Prentice's class. So very, very cool. Thought I was doing something really special, and then a bunch of first graders said we can do it too. And I was like, oh, okay. Well,
Great.
I lose. I'm 40. I lost. No, it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. When he was reading my book, man, I'm like, wow, this is cool.
When he introduced it and said this is Never Benched by DJ Oakley, well, like, what was that like?
It was awesome. It's hard to. It's like numb at this point, like, because you're just trying to take everything in. Like, you're looking at like the kids, you're looking at,
right,
how tough is this read going to be? You're looking at the teacher. I was looking at Janice Cartwright because, she set all this up, and it was really cool. And she's like, go over and sit next to the kids. Like, go over, like, all right, cool. And like, as soon as the book was done, they all looked over, and there's one kid. He's like, that was a really good book. That was a really good book. And that was before they got their books handed to them. When they handed out the books, these kids were ecstatic, and they were all reading the book, which I think that's the toughest thing. Cause like, if you know me, you know that I wasn't the greatest student in high school. I really maxed out in college when it was, 3.9 GPA. But it was, high school was tough. Reading, I was the kid in class that when it was like the, what was it, Book It, where you read a book, you get a free pizza.
Oh, yeah.
I may not have read all the books that I claimed I did. I'm just, hey, statute of limitations is over. I'm good. I don't think anybody's going to arrest me. But I can tell you that I can promise I didn't read all those books, but I got a lot of pizza during those times in my life. But now I wrote one, so I think we're even. That's even Stevens, right? So now I'm multiplying that, like, hopefully 100x, and kids are reading books.
I couldn't pull that in school because we had the thing where when you read a book, you had to also take this computer quiz about the book to prove that you read it. So you couldn't really sneak and just say you read it. They were kind of sticklers. Reading counts. It's in my nightmares.
Yeah, well, here's the other thing. I was before you, and we weren't on computers yet. So, pin a rose on my nose.
Lucky.
I got a lot of pizza.
Yeah,
Did what I had to do. Did what I had to do. I don't. Yeah, and I feel all that guilt tripping going on from wherever you people are. You did it too. Like, don't pretend like I did not orchestrate this thing. Like, this was other kids were doing it. So guess what? I was too. But now I wrote a book. Now you have to go write a book and make it up. It's called karma. Bring it back. Boomerang that thing. No, it was awesome. I'm very, very excited. And again, thanks to everybody who has ordered the book or has said, this is awesome. This is great. I encourage you to do the same. It's not that hard of a process. And you can make an everlasting impact for somebody as long as the story's good. Don't sleep on the book. Don't sleep on greatness. Okay. No, it was really cool to go back to the place where I graduated from, East Palestine Elementary School. A lot of kids know Z-Man, so that was cool too. They were asking how Z was, so it was a good day to be a dad. Good day to be a dad today, so I was excited. So that's my spark. That has been your Joe Dickey Electric. What's your spark? Presented by Joe Dickey Electric. You can visit them on the web 24/7, 365. Yes, I said 365 days a year at DickeyElectric.com. Anthony, do you have anything left for the good of the great of the people here?
No, I don't. Dynamite dropping, I know.
Way to chime in. Appreciate you. I always know that I can count on you when the chips are down. This has been a good show. We'll be back, and we'll do better tomorrow. I'll tell you that, because we have to. We have to do better tomorrow because we have 4 guests on the show. Yeah, we're not tap dancing tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to be cooking in the kitchen. One more time, who are our guests tomorrow, Ant?
We have Gianna Pauline from South Range, Braden Devine from Crestview Baseball. We have Leah DeArmond from LeBray, and then last but not least, of course, we have Alex Ward from Boardman. So
all of that and more right here on YSN Live. You can catch us starting at noon every weekday this week, and then not Monday next week because it's Memorial Day. We're going to be memorializing people and things and everybody. God bless America. Ladies and gentlemen, God bless you. Thanks for tuning in. And may the sports be with you, pal.
And you, my friend.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of Your Sports Network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.